Hey everybody. So, a couple of years ago, I sat down with a friend of mine that you guys haven't seen yet. Her name is Robyn. And we played through a text adventure called The Leather Goddesses of Phobos by Infocom. The idea was for us to play through several Infocom games, and you never know, we still might. The problem is, after we filmed the entire game, I looked back and realized the footage wasn't that great. Just the text is sometimes hard to read, it's a little blurry, and since it's a text-only game, that makes it not a great video. Now, Robyn and I act out the characters and read all the dialogue, so you don't need to see the text, but it's kind of silly to have a video where you don't see anything. So, then I thought, well, maybe we'll make like a podcast. She and I will work together and we'll go through several Infocom games and we'll do a podcast so people can just listen to us play these text-only games. That's when I realized the audio wasn't that well balanced. Robyn's voice was very soft and mine was very not. So it was going to take a lot of editing on that. And then I realized I don't have enough time to take on a full podcast. I just don't. I'd love to. I've actually got a couple different ideas for podcasts. I don't have that kind of time. And Robyn doesn't either. Robyn is currently developing a video game, which is taking most of her free time. So, this footage just sat on my computer for a couple years, and I haven't used it for anything. Still, I've decided to go ahead and just publish it as an LP. I'm aware the video isn't very crisp and clear. I'm aware the audio's not the best, but this footage is doing nothing just sitting on my hard drive. And we did have fun making it, which is always kind of my indication that maybe it'd be fun for somebody to watch. So, this is my friend Robyn and I playing through The Leather Goddesses of Phobos. I apologize for any quality issues. We promise to do better in the future. For those of you who don't know, Infocom was famous back in the day before video games had graphics. They made text adventures. And I know that may not sound terribly exciting, but I promise you, the Infocom games are funny. They are exciting and full of all bits of odds and ends.
They're eccentric.
Yeah. In this day, you can find anybody LPing just about any video game you want to on YouTube. The Infocom games don't really lend themselves to LP so much because there's nothing to see. It's walls of text. So, Robyn and I will act out the games as we play through them.
Yeah, we'll play it for you.
We'll play
you
it.
Don't have to.
And trust me, in some of these cases, it's much better to listen than to play. These games can get rough. But we will do our best to do character voices and make it fun and inject our own unique brand of what we pretend is comedy.
And you know how they have, books on tape? We have video games on tape now.
There you go.
I bet you never thought that would happen.
Parsed, bringing you video games on tape. Available only on cassette.
Yes.
So, for our first game, the game that really brought this project together, I wanted to play the infamous Leather Goddesses of Phobos.
And boy, is it infamous. You're in for a treat.
It is an actual game. That is not a joke title. It is a real game, the Leather Goddesses of Phobos. And I couldn't dream of playing the Leather Goddesses of Phobos by myself. I needed a female co-host, so I could disguise the fact that I am a sexist pig.
Hey, hilariously, I play quite a few males in the Leather Goddesses. But I suppose for some teasers, there is not only leather or goddesses, but there are things like gorillas and jungles, Venus flytraps, Chicago.
Black holes,
Was it Chicago?
intergalactic space
Cleveland.
battles. Yes.
Yes, Cleveland.
Sword fighting in zero G. And a bag of leaves.
Oh God, don't forget the bag of leaves.
Really don't. So, I think we have spent enough time on our little intro. You guys are probably eager for us to dive into the world of the Leather Goddesses of Phobos. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I can read the disclaimer.
I could do that in my flight attendant voice.
Okay.
Some material in this story may not be suitable for children, especially the parts involving sex. which no one should know anything about until reaching the age of 18, 21 in certain states. This story is also unsuitable for censors, members of the moral majority, and anyone else who thinks that sex is dirty rather than fun. The attitudes expressed and language used in this story are representative only of the views of the author and in no way represent the views of Infocom Inc. or its employees, many of whom are children, censors, and members of the moral majority. But very few of whom, based on last year's Christmas party, think that sex is dirty. By now, all the folks who might be offended by leather goddesses of Phobos have whipped their disc out of their drive and, evidence in hand, are indignantly huffing toward their dealer, their lawyer, or their favorite repression-oriented Politico. So, hit the return enter key to begin.
Very nicely done.
There were some stumbles. But
Yeah, I especially like the stumble that whipped there and
Yeah.
then you went, wait.
Yeah.
The place, Upper Sandusky, Ohio. The time, 1936. The beer, at a nickel a mug. You don't ask for brand names. All you know is that your fifth one tasted as bad as the first.
It tastes better as it goes. Right. Yeah.
It's supposed to, not here.
Right. But for a nickel, I'll take that mug.
Oh, it's 1936 nickels. That's like $20 now.
Right. I wonder what the actual inflation is.
Joe's Bar, an undistinguished bar, yet the social center of Upper Sandusky. The front door is almost lost amidst the hazy maze of neon that shrouds the grimy glass of the south wall. Doors marked ladies and gents lead respectively northeast and northwest. You feel an urge. This is this game's very clever way of letting you pick your gender. The game changes slightly based on your gender. And so to avoid any weird misunderstandings, it just says you need to pee, where do you go? And me being a guy, I think I'm going to go to the gents.
Okay, you be a gent.
Okay. Although, we'll just save real quick because
a leather gent.
leather. So we're not gonna go to the bathroom. We're just gonna wait.
Oh, great.
Because Infocom games have a lot of fun little jokes in here. You trace the urge to the region of your bladder. I'm gonna wait again. Go ahead. You can read our demands.
Time passes. Though operating at far below normal speed, your mind begins to conclude that it would be best at this point to find a bathroom.
Wait. Except I can't spell. Time passes. Even if you don't care about your clothes, imagine the embarrassments. Wait.
Whoa. Wall of text. You can't wait another second. Without going into embarrassing detail, you've made a mess. A moment later, before even half the people in Joe's have begun tittering, a flash of green light precedes the arrival of two very odd patrons. They rotate their bellies to get a better look at you. As their mouth stalks open, you find that, despite an evolution that occurred dozens of astronomical units from Upper Sandusky, these fellows speak in perfect Midwestern English.
This one?
A pitiful specimen. Can't even control... Is that Sandusky accent?
I was going for alien.
Yeah,
okay, wait.
What's Midwestern?
I don't know.
Like, all I'm thinking is sort of like a Swedish Michigan thing. But that's not really...
Bork, bork, bork.
Yeah, I know.
This one?
A pitiful specimen. Can't even control simple bodily functions. The test would be worthless.
Agreed. Must have been a screw-up somewhere. Let's take this one instead. They grab a blonde woman whose scream is cut short by another green flash. Sound effects. 3 weeks later, when the Earth is invaded and everyone is enslaved by the leather goddesses of Phobos, you wonder if there was a connection. In 4 turns, you have achieved a score of, call it 0 out of 9,309 points. This gives you the rank of Sandusky Stable Hand. Would you like to start over, restore, or end this session? Okay.
Oh man, we beat the game. Good job, guys.
So that's what happens if we just refuse to go to a bathroom. We wet ourselves in
We
public.
wet ourselves and see some aliens.
We can also try to leave the bar. A gust of wind blows you back into the bar. Ohio.
They're playing by, legit game rules.
Ohio
In
has
terms
some
of
very strong
sandboxing
winds.
now, yeah, here.
Alright, so we're going to be a man.
Be
Well, we're at least going to be somebody who uses the men's room.
Right.
Whatever that means to you, have fun.
Right.
The gents' room. This filthy bathroom belies the existence of disinfectant. A single toilet and sink are the only fixtures. More breathable air can be found to the southeast, which is the exit since we came
I
in.
always bring a compass with me into the bathroom to just pick up on the best air.
You can see a stool here. Oh, God.
Right, what kind of stool?
You trace the urge to the region of your bladder. Well, let's look at the stool. It's safe to take,
Yeah.
if you receive my meaning.
Take a stool. You get ye stool. Even if you don't care about your clothes, imagine the embarrassment again?
Yeah, because we're still running out of time every turn.
I see.
I'm not providing the solely found sound effects.
Right. I'm not gonna do that either.
Now that... Go ahead.
Now that the crisis has passed, you notice a strong and familiar odor pervading the room, and it's not your own pee.
One would hope.
Flush.
Can I flush the toilet? Probably the first fresh water to enter this John in a month.
Oh. It's unfortunate.
Well, I guess we've gone to the bathroom, so...
Well, wait. Wash your hands, man.
Oh, okay. Wash hands. Done.
Done.
A brilliant flash of green light seems less unusual when followed by the appearance of tentacled aliens, as is the case with the current flash of green light. The tentacles wrap roughly around you as you faint. After an unknown amount of time, well, let's cut the crap, 7.3 hours later, you wake. Your head feels as if it's been run over by several locomotives, or at least one very large locomotive. And your clothes are now unrecognizable.
Man, you're just having so many issues with your clothes and thinking about the embarrassment of them. Alright, cell. You are in a large cell with a soft, cushiony floor. That was nice of them. A wide door, closed naturally, forms the southern wall of the cell. Hanging on the wall is a painting of a pussycat. You can see a flashlight, a stool, and a blanket here. Someone thrusts a tray into your cell. A hunk of brown food on the tray looks unappetizing, but smells deliciously familiar. Like stool.
Oh, God. Alright, we'll say it before we do it. The most common expression used in an Infocom game.
Get all.
Get all. Tray, taken. Flashlight, taken. Stool, taken. Painting, taken. Blanket, taken. Infinite pockets.
If only we could have infinite pockets.
What if I eat the food? It's a piece of really good chocolate. You feel yourself getting a sugar rush. Okay. I know for a fact I needed to save that chocolate. I have played this game once, many years ago, so I don't remember most of it.
You're like, oh, don't waste that chocolate.
Look at tray. Look at food. Oh, sorry. You can see a hunk of brown food. Look at food.
The hunk of brown food looks unappetizing. That's not okay. Yeah, same thing.
Get food. Take it. Okay, so the food is no longer in the tray. So we're in the cell. Look at door. All you can tell is that the wide cell door is closed. What should we do?
Look at the wall where the pussycat painting was.
Look at wall. It does not know the word wall.
Interesting.
I'm going to break out of here. I'm going to open the door. The cell door seems wide open. Do we remember what direction the door was in? Was it south? Yes.
Nice.
Now, a wide cell door lies open to the north, and a narrow cell door lies closed to the south. The hallway ends at a gleaming metal door to the west, and continues east. Something, possibly this very sentence, tells you that it would be dangerous to travel east or west. A sign posted next to the stairs, which lead both upwards and downwards. Let's open up this other door. The narrow cell door. Sorry, it asked me, which door do you mean? The wide cell door, the narrow cell door, or the middle door? And I like that it remembers, I don't have to type the whole phrase again, it actually will let me answer that question.
Oh, that is nice.
The narrow cell door swings open. It was in the south. So.
Other cell.
Nope. We're up there.
No. As you enter, a man sitting limply in the shadows stiffens and rises to his feet. A human! They got you too? I've been here a week. When you opened the door, I figured it was a guard. Was it unlocked? I never thought of trying it. By the way, my name's Trent, from Alaska. I'm not too bright, but I'm strong as an ox, and I'm great with my hands. Maybe I can lick these leather goddesses together. Oh, we can. We can. Hey, he's not too bright.
No, he's not. If you're playing as a female, I think he's Tina. So they give you a companion who's the same gender as you. So again, this game is not as risque as you think it is.
Well, they don't want to have, I guess, some sort of heterosexual...
They don't want any
romantic
sexual tension in their
yeah.
sexual game.
So we can make,
Other cell. You are in a very tiny room with a rock-hard floor. We got the cushion. We got the cushion
man, I wonder what we did to get... We peed? That's how you get the cushion?
He didn't pee.
Mm-hmm.
A narrow cell door to the north is open. A crumpled paper lies discarded in the corner. There seems to be writing on it. Trent is here, alertly surveying your surroundings. Trent is going to be our companion in this game. He's going to follow us everywhere. And in the end, he will help us lick the leather goddesses of Phobos.
Right. Trent from Alaska.
Get paper, breed paper.
Okay.
Okay, there is a seemingly meaningless matrix of letters on the paper. And it is, except I see headlight. I see the word headlight there on the next to bottom row.
Oh, that says something about who you are, right? The first thing you see.
It's the only word in there.
Right. It could be shed light.
Oh, look, backwards.
Shed light, too.
The bottom row backwards says cotton balls.
Cotton balls to...
No, oat.
No, oat. Yeah.
It's...
Cotton balls.
The bottom one backwards says cotton balls. The next to bottom one forward says S headlight O.
Yeah, nothing is working out otherwise. Oh, wait, rubber hoses.
Rubber hose. Okay, so at the very end of this game, we have to have acquired a certain number of items in order to beat the leather goddesses. And I think this is a list of the items we have to have by the end of the game, except it seems to be written backwards, forwards, and scrambled.
Right. Should we write this down?
No, we'll always have the piece of paper.
Okay.
We'll be alright. Alright. And the other cell. Okay, the only way out of here is north, so we'll go north. Trent loyally stays at your side. So we're back at the end of the hallway. We can read the sign that was on the stairs. Up to observation room.
Ooh. Let's observe.
Okay. Up. Observation room. Go ahead.
Calvin Coolidge once described windows as rectangles of glass. If so, he may have been thinking about the window which fills the western wall of this room. A tiny closet lies to the north. A sign is posted next to the stairs, which lead both upwards and downwards. Those the same stairs?
Yeah, probably the same stairs we came up. Trent trails along. Down 2 cells.
Well, okay.
What happens if we go up further? The roof! Your view extends to the horizon, which on tiny Phobos usually means a few hundred feet. Thrusting up into the sight beyond the horizon are the arching towers and curving domes of the notorious Pleasure Palace of the Leather Goddesses of Phobos, all capitalized. On a wide plain between here and the palace, powerful warships are poised for the imminent invasion of Earth. Mars... How do we know that?
I guess we're really paranoid, and people think aliens and see any sort of fleet. They're like, oh, well, I'm invading Earth.
And what's with all the leather? Mars dominates the view, a dull red orb spanning a quarter of the sky. Bright blue canals lace the surface, and white caps of ice are visible at both poles. It is 1936, back when Mars had water. A stairway leads down into the building. Near the edge, seemingly painted onto the roof, is a black circle. You might be able to jump to the ground, but frankly, we advise against it. Trent enters just a few steps behind you. I remember these black circles being important, so we're going to come back to that in a minute. I want to see... I think it said there was a closet here in the observation room.
Mm-hmm.
A tiny closet lies to the north, so we're going to go look at it. It is too dark to see a thing. There is a distinctive odor here, though. There's a lot of smells in this game.
There is a lot of smells. Is it the distinctive chocolate smell?
Or the distinctive urine smell.
Yeah, right.
Alright, use flashlight. You'll have to be more specific about what you want to...
Turn on flashlight?
Yep. Never been much good at turning things on.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, the flashlight is now on.
Woo! High five?
Oh, yeah. We can high five, yeah. We solved the puzzle. Closet. This room is barely large enough to turn around in. Just to prove it, you turn around. As you do so, you spot a black circle about 2 feet across, seemingly painted onto the floor in the corner. A shelf protrudes from one wall, very close to the ceiling. The closet is open to the south. A strong odor pervades the closet. There are strong
Always
odors.
Well, I guess this is the same odor, though.
Trent is here, doing some quick limbering exercises.
He's strong as an ox.
Sitting on the shelf is a wicker basket. Well, I think we know what we have to do now.
You might have to look in the wicker basket.
We have to get the basket. You can't reach the wicker basket.
What else do we have? We have a blanket and a scrap of
Paper, a hunk of brown food, a blanket, a painting, a stool.
Maybe a stool? Yeah.
Drop stool. Stand on stool. You are now on the stool. Get basket. Taken! Trent trots over to you.
We've got a plan to bring these leather goddess jokers, to their knees, he says, flipping you a matchbook. The cover of the matchbook is filled with scrawled notations. If we can scrape up these items, I can whip up something that'll knock 'em cold. A super-duper anti-leather goddesses of Phobos attack machine.
He's not that bright, but he has
he's already
managed...
putting together a plan and managed
not
to
just a
decode...
plan, a blueprint to a machine.
Right.
I'm not that bright, but I do know how to build a machine that will take care of this alien menace.
Right.
Let's see, can we read the matchbook that he gave us? Most of the scrawlings are a blueprint for a vastly complicated device. Below that is a parts list. Okay, here is what we need in order to beat the game. A common household blender, 6 feet of rubber hose, a pair of cotton balls, an 82-degree angle, a headlight from any 1933 Ford, a white mouse,
specific.
any size photo of Jean Harlow, and a copy of the Cleveland phone book.
Interesting.
This is the point of the game. This is the entire point of the game. By the way, we currently have a score of 2. So we are doing awesome. It's right up there at the top. Alright. So... Oh, I should probably get that stool again, just in case. You're on it. Get off stool. You get off the stool. Get stool. Taken. Alright, stand in black circle, I think?
Jungle.
You're sucked into the hole in a direction that isn't down, but neither is it one of the other directions with which you're familiar.
You are surrounded by hot, steamy, primitive rainforest.
Oh, yeah.
Judging by the overpowering heat, the excessive humidity, and especially by the gigantic Venus flytrap settling your way, you must be in the death-clogged jungles of Venus.
Because it's a Venus flytrap, it must be on Venus.
Right, of course. A path runs east-west through the jungle. But don't even think about going west unless you love wading into 4 tons of man-eating lettuce.
Well.
A few seconds later, you see Trent's elbow appear, followed almost immediately by the rest of him. The Venus flytrap sidles closer. They can move here? Sidles.
Okay, so we can go east or west, but if we go west, we will die.
Who says they're man-eating?
I think this thing did, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, but how is it to know? I guess we have to trust it.
No, we're going to test it. That's why I saved.
Nice.
So we're going to go west. Despite being warned, you walk right into the orifice of a Venus flytrap. A little-known fact about Venus flytraps. They secrete an enzyme which stimulates the pleasure centers of their victim. Hence, you experience multiple orgasms as your flesh is quietly dissolved away. What a way to go. You have died.
In 41 turns, you've achieved a score of, call it 2 out of 482 points.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Last
mine
time it was
was
9,000 something.
Was it 9,000?
Yeah.
I think it was like 3,902.
I'm starting to think the points are random.
I think so too.
And we're still a Sandusky stable hand.
I think,
I call
this
shenanigans.
is a game where points mean nothing.
Alright, so maybe this time we won't die, and we'll go east. A mighty tree rises before you in the center of the path. Suddenly and without warning, as is the nature of the jungle, it dies. Within seconds, the tree is consumed by the Venusian hypertermites, which then move off in search of other dead trees, leaving a massive hole in the ground.
Fork of sorts. This jungle path once split here, went around a mighty tree and rejoined off to the east. Now it splits here, goes around a mighty hole, and rejoins off to the east. Trent enters just a few steps behind you. As the Venus flytrap scurries along, you dash to the eastern side of the hole in order to be as far away from it as possible.
Okay, I guess there's nothing to do but go east.
Yeah.
Clearing. This is a tiny anti-oasis of barrenness amid the teeming Venusian jungle. Winding paths enter the jungle in most directions. You can see a can of black stain here. Trent follows you. Holy topiism! The Venus flytrap loses interest in you and crawls away. Get can. Okay.
What is a can of black stain?
Doesn't matter. If it exists, we must get it.
Right. Infinite inventory.
Oh god, they enter the jungle in most directions. List exits. Exits? No, I don't want to actually exit the game. I don't know. Pick a direction. I don't know what I'm doing.
How about northeast?
Northeast. You walk swiftly down the trail. It turns, it twists, it narrows, grabs vine at your ankles, and bird-sized insects close in for a kill. Suddenly, front door.
Front door, great.
To the north, the entrance to a plasticoid house. I didn't mispronounce that. It's not a real word. The only type of structure that exists that lasts more than 3 minutes in the volatile Venusian biosphere. To the south and east, paths into the jungle.
Trent trails along. So we've reached a biodome of sorts? Okay. Knock on the door. The door is thrown open by a wild-eyed mad scientist. 999! I don't need any! Then, taking a closer look at you, through spectacles thick enough to stop gamma rays, he says, "Oh, not ein salesman. In fact, just the type I need for mine experiment." He grips your wrist with surprising strength and drags you inside.
Looks can be deceiving, is the title of this chapter, I guess? From the innocent appearance of this quiet living room, you'd never guessed that all sorts of twisted, maniacal, perverted experiments are in progress a short flight of stairs below. There are doors to the north and south, open. You can see a mad scientist here. Trent follows you. You feel uneasy as the mad scientist locks the doors behind you and dissolves the key in a vat of acid.
Okay. It's traumatic.
I want to leave. You'll have to open the front door first. Let us retire to der laboratory, suggests the mad scientist. Sorry, you were the mad scientist,
Oh,
weren't
that's
you?
okay. We can do. Maybe there's
open
more
door.
mad scientists.
Which door do you mean? Let's open the back door. It's locked. Very locked.
You know, why would you just dissolve a key? That's very wasteful.
It's locked. Both doors are locked. Very locked.
Downstairs, please, says the mad scientist impatiently.
Downstairs. Laboratory. The scientist's madness is finally evident by his lab, filled with many expressions of insane genius, such as the 2 caged gorillas, 1 male and 1 female, the 2 slabs for strapping down human victims, and the huge red power switch. A closed door leads north. At the foot of the winding stone stairs is a black circle. Aha!
Ah,
It seems that the cage contains a rubber hose. Aha!
we need that hose.
Trent trails along. The mad scientist bounds down from the first floor, activating a guaranteed 100% effective Vaporo-Zap energy barrier across the foot of the stairs.
So is he trying to test that on us?
No, that's to prevent us from escaping, I think.
Ah.
Now, I do actually remember one thing you have to do in sequence. So Infocom games can be kind of mean sometimes.
Where they're like, don't just go for the thing you want. You gotta skirt around this.
Well, it's... In this particular instance, they can require you to do something that seems random because until you die, you don't know that you needed to have already done it.
Right. Say hello to the gorillas.
In this case, I'm going to throw the gorilla some chocolate.
Ah,
Because
the thing you remembered.
one of the few things I remember is that the gorilla needs the chocolate, not us. So, give food to gorilla.
Gorillas? Yeah.
Which gorilla do you mean? The female gorilla or the male gorilla? I'm going to say male because I'm a male.
Well, eagerly the male gorilla accepts the hunk of brown food.
And hopefully I did not just end the game for us.
You didn't save either. No.
I saved before we came in here.
Okay. Good.
And I think I'm going to stick with this. After, again, exhibiting extraordinary strength, the mad scientist stramps you down on the first slab and Trent onto the second slab.
Oh no.
Wait. The mad scientist flips the huge red power switch. You suddenly find yourself within the cage. Oddly, you can also see yourself strapped to the first slab. As you swing across the cage to get a better look, you realize that you're now in the body of a gorilla!
Which one?
Look in cage. Other than yourself, you can see a rubber hose and a female gorilla. Let's get that hose.
Great.
Inventory. Do we have the chocolate? We have the chocolate!
Yep.
Bend bars. Actually, let's have some fun, shall we? We'll save this as mad, because we're in the mad scientist clutches. Let's go ahead and screw the female gorilla. Right? Because that's...
Screw her.
Yeah.
Screw her.
Hey, the female gorilla isn't bad looking. You begin nuzzling, and things quickly get hot and heavy.
Ach!
Yells the mad scientist.
My theory is correct. The sex drive of a species resides in their body, not in their brain.
He dashes off. Through the briefly open door, you see two Venus flytraps running madly around the next room. One is chasing, while the other is frantically trying to stay as far away as possible.
Oh no.
That's it. That's as dirty as the sex gets, by the way. You begin nuzzling, and things quickly get hot and heavy.
Oh.
That is the raunch factor.
It's
Bend
almost
bars.
offensive.
Bellowing madly, you pull at the bars. They almost give, but you haven't got quite enough strength.
But once you eat the chocolate,
If only we had something that could give us a little extra strength.
right?
It's a piece of really good chocolate. You feel yourself get a sugar rush.
Ah.
Bellowing madly, you pull at the bars. Slowly they spread apart to form an opening.
Ah.
I don't know where I'm at. The cage contains a... Sitting on the second slab is... Sorry, I should actually read to you guys what's happening. Sorry, I'm still new to this. Laboratory in the cage. The scientist madness is finally evident by his lab. We did that part. Sitting on the second slab is Trent's body. Sitting on the first slab is your body. It seems that your body has a brass loincloth.
Being worn.
They did say they took our clothes. A rule book stuck in your back pocket. We had a rule book, and our loincloth has a pocket.
Yeah, who knew?
A tray, a flashlight providing light, because I never turned it off again.
Goodness.
A painting, a blanket, a scrap of paper, a wicker basket, a matchbook, a stool, and a can of black stain. It seems that the cage contains a female gorilla.
Okay, so can we get ourselves
Second
out?
slab.
Oh, for God's
Give
sakes.
hose to body. I want him to have the hose.
Right.
Your body. Which body do you mean? Trent's body or your body? Eagerly, your body accepts the rubber hose.
Alright, now can we free?
Free your body. Leave
You
cage.
can't reach your body from the cage. Ah,
You feel the sugar rush ebb. You get out of the cage.
right. How did we get the hose on the body?
Yeah, I guess we threw it. Your body leaps for a rafter and lands back on the first slab with a loud whoomp, looking momentarily stunned.
Okay.
Free Trent. As you untie Trent's body, it attempts to wrap its arms around you as though they were tentacles.
Well, thanks, Trent.
He's just giving us a little hug. Let's see. He flipped a red power switch. Let's flip that back.
Yes.
Flip red power switch. Zap! You're back in your own body. The gorilla looks confused and slinks back into comfortably familiar environment of the cage.
It's very tame gorilla.
Yeah, he's like, man, that was weird.
Yeah.
I'm going back in my cage.
Right.
Let's get that hose. Oh, I gave it to me.
Yeah,
I already have it.
You already have it. It's in your inventory. But don't you need your loincloth back now?
I'm wearing it.
Are we?
It said I was.
Okay.
Look at loincloth. The brass loincloth, tight but comfy, covers only the bare essentials.
Right.
Let's look at our rule book we had. Look at
It
rule
says,
book. Maybe it's
I don't
2
know
words.
the word.
Ah!
Book. There we go.
In a flight attendant voice, I believe,
Oh,
because
sure.
it's go right ahead.
Hello, prisoner. You are a captive of the Leather Goddesses of Phobos.
You guys can't see
As
it, but
an
she is doing hand
experimental
gestures. She can't stop
subject.
herself.
Your unspeakably painful death will help your effort to enslave humanity and turn the earth into our private pleasure world. Consider this to be a great honor, human.
The remainder of the book covers the exacting rules of behavior expected of a prisoner of the Leather Goddesses of Phobos. For example, it mentions that escapees will be killed immediately and painfully by Lekbandi guards. After reading it, you stick it back in your back pocket of your loincloth.
Right. Brass loincloths can have pockets?
Alright, so
It's just fitted to the rulebook.
we got the hose. My memory of this game is now done. So, there was a black circle here, right?
Yes, let's get in that black circle.
You can't reach the...
Get
Stand
off the
up!
slab.
You get off the first slab. You also help Trent from the second...
Well, thank you.
When the gorilla released my body, it jumped to the rafters and back.
Right. But you can't understand sitting up.
But Trent needs help getting up. Enter circle.
Now, do you have to walk there first? Okay, good.
You're sucked into the hole in a direction that isn't down, but neither is it one of the other directions with which you're familiar.
Visicom booth. This small booth, which opens to the southeast, contains an ordinary pay Visicom with a handset, not headset, coin slot, dial, coin return knob, and coin return box. A red sign is posted over the Visicom. A few seconds later, you see Trent's earlobe appear, followed almost immediately by the rest of him. He just kind of like to dabs his toe in.
The game likes to let you know which part shows up first.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, read the sign. Out of order.
It's a shame.
Can I get anything? Nope.
Oh, turn your flashlight off.
Oh yeah. This I'm an expert at. I can turn stuff off all day long. Alright, so the exit is to the southeast. Rocky cliff top. Even the most adaptable Venusian flora can't gain a foothold on this outcropping, so the jungle, which can be entered to the north or west, peters out here. To the southeast, your cliff-top vantage offers a stunning view of more luscious jungle, stretching unbroken to the horizon. To the northeast, between the two paths up into the jungle, is a Visicom booth, and at the edge of the cliff is a black circle. Trent enters just a few steps behind you.
Alright, well, we already know that the Visicom booth is out of order. So, do we go for the view, or do we go straight to that other circle?
I don't know. I have no idea what to do next, so we're just going to experiment around here.
Let's check out the view.
Okay, the southeast. Stepping off the cliff would mean a fatal plunge to the jungle below. Thank you,
Okay,
Robyn,
cool.
for trying to kill us.
I wasn't suggesting stepping off, I was suggesting going for the view.
Why?
It sounded lovely.
Why are you trying to murder us?
At every turn, that's what I'm here for. So that they get the enjoyment of all of the possibilities of this game.
Fair enough. I feel like we missed something in the jungle, because we just went one direction in the jungle.
Yeah, but
and
the
it was
other
a mad
direction
scientist.
was death.
No, remember, it opened up and it said there was exits in like every direction, and you
Right.
randomly picked northwest.
Northeast.
Northeast.
Northeast is where the mad scientist dome is. But hey, got us the rubber hose.
It did. We are one step closer to beating this game. I'm going to go back into the jungle, I think, and we're going to explore some of those other directions. We'll go north into the jungle. No, that's the back door of the house. You're near the rear entrance of a house to the south. Trails enter the jungle east and west. An extraordinary number of door-to-door salesmen are camped out here, having been booted away from the front door, but still hopeful of making a sale. Trent loyally stays at your side. A salesman approaches you.
You look like a fellow who can spot a good deal. One of my machines could change your life. Let's barter. Offer me something as an even-up trade.
Let's see what he'll take.
What else do we have?
Salesman.
We have a blanket. Oh, the pussycat painting.
Offer painting. Salesman? That model went out of style before I was born. Offer me something else. Offer loincloth to salesman. You'll have to remove the brass loincloth first. I'll throw in a free 2-week service contract. Well, we know not to give him the hose.
Right, we need that hose.
Offer flashlight to salesman.
Okay. I mean, flashlights are handy.
Well, I don't think he's going to take something that's not handy.
Right.
Eagerly, the salesman accepts the flashlight, mentioning that he knows a Plutonian plutocrat who will trade his life fortune for one. Wow.
Man, well,
And
you
dropped-
better give us something good then.
Drops an odd machine at his feet. It's a tea remover. I actually remember this. I remember what the tea remover is used for. He explains, you ponder what it removes. Tea stains, hallway tea intersections, even TV star Mr. T crosses your mind, until you recall that it's only 1936. But before you have a chance to ask the salesman, he turns on the flashlight, and a giant Venusian megamoth swoops down and carries him off. The other salesmen scatter like frightened salesmen.
Well, that's an unfortunate end, perhaps.
Oh, I should get the machine. Get machine. Good. Oh, right. So we're near the entrance of a house to the south. We're not going back in the house.
No, we're not.
No, I don't like that house. Trails enter the jungle to
It's
the
all
east
things in
and the
house.
west. Trent is here doing some quick limbering exercises.
So, we went east to get here, and west is where the Venus flytrap deaths were. So should we keep going east?
East. Rocky Cliff Top.
No,
All right.
Back to that.
Well, we got the tea machine, so we'll go ahead and enter the circle now and see what happens. You're sucked into the hole in a direction that isn't down, but neither is it one of the other directions with which you're familiar.
Royal Docks. During the peak of King Mitra's reign, a cruel joke went around that the kingdom that Mitra's two greatest loves were his royal docks and his royal ducks. The joke was never very good and has long since been forgotten, and the ducks perished years ago from a sexually transmitted disease. But the docks remain, jutting into a wide Martian canal which flows from west to east. Behind you, to the south, is a ruined castle. A barge, handcrafted from fine Martian cedar wood, is moored at the end of the dock. A few seconds later, you see Trent's big toe appear, followed almost immediately by the rest of them.
Can I get the barge?
What a
concept! Okay. Let's go check out the ruined castle.
Yeah.
Throne room. This is the throne room of the once potent King Mitra? Mitra?
That's how I was pronouncing it. You can call it Miter.
King
if you
Bob.
want. Yeah.
Miter? I like Miter. I can pronounce Miter.
Miter. You can
Yeah.
do Mitra.
Mitra?
Uh-huh.
King Mitra of legendary fame. Of course, the version you've probably heard is significantly warped from what really happened.
Yeah, that's
They capitalized. In the diseased version of the legend commonly transmitted on Earth, Mitra is called Midas. The king was granted his wish that everything he touched would turn to gold. His greed caught up with him when he transformed even his own daughter into gold. King Mitra's wish, was in fact, that everything he touched turned to a 45-degree angle.
Are we gonna get him to touch something, what was it, twice? Do we need an 80 degree?
We need
angle?
an 88-degree angle, something like that.
88.
An 89, it might have been 89, so
Oh,
twice.
no. Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
No one has ever explained this strange wish. The most likely hypothesis is a sexual fetish. In any case, the tale has a similar climax, with Mitra turning his own daughter into a 45-degree angle.
Oh,
King Mitra sits upon the throne.
at least she was acute.
Oh, no, she's right.
No.
45 is right.
No, that's 90.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're right, she's a cute.
Yeah.
She's a cute princess.
Yeah. Alright, go on.
King Mitra sits upon his throne, looking dejected and lonely. Next to him is a pile of 45-degree angles. One stands out from the other, thanks to its golden hair and flowing white gown.
What a lovely angle.
The main entrance of the throne room is to the south, but a tight opening leads north. Trent enters just a few steps behind you.
Trent's still here, guys.
Alright, we'll save this. We're at the king, and hopefully I haven't ruined the game by now. let me say this: if at any point I do something that makes the game unwinnable, we do have access to a walkthrough. We haven't actually looked at it yet, but we do have one, so I can very quickly catch us back up to where we are correctly, and so you guys will just see a jump cut, and we'll be like, "Hey guys, so this time we did this." So you guys won't have to sit through watching us play the whole game again if I make a horrible mistake.
This is not.
Actually, I think this might be where we're going to have to cut it off for right now.
Yeah, great. Now I can go pee and be on a stool.
But which bathroom are you going to pick? What gender
Maybe I'll
will you
wait.
become?
No. I'll take ladies.
I don't know that I have a ladies' room.
Yeah, well, I'll take men's.
So when we come back, Robyn will become Robyn, actually.
Uh-huh.
And she's gender fluid. Alright, so that's it for the first episode of Leather Goddesses of Phobos. Hopefully we haven't screwed everything up horribly. Only time will tell. We'll see you guys next time. Say goodbye to the folks at home, Robyn.
Goodbye, folks at home. The exits are to your south and north. So on opposite sides.
I'm going
Bye,
north.
everyone.